Our next speaker is a composer, arranger, a pan player from Trinidad, perhaps one of the most esteemed proponents of this art form internationally. He has arranged and recorded with steel bands and artists in the US, Canada, Latin America, Japan, and Europe, including televised performances with the German National Orchestra, which showcased his compositions. He composed the highly acclaimed score for Black Orpheus, staged by Crossroads Theatre Company in New Jersey in 1991, and has performed for film, television, and at venues such as Madison Square Garden, the Super Bowl, and the St. Lucia Jazz Festival. This young man, and I stress on young man, is recognized as the first arranger to take his own composition to the Panorama competition. For the young people here, that song was Pan on the Move. He also has 2 Panorama victories, which he achieved with Starlift. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to one of the finest panists in the world, Mr. Ray Holman.
That wonderful introduction, Lennox. I feel very honored to having been invited here this morning to say a few words on this very, very important development for the steel band. When I started to play, as my hair would attest, it was very, very many years ago. And we had to learn from people. I started with Invaders. So in Invaders, that wonderful yard with the breadfruit tree, you're looking at how the guys played, and they'd come around and say, so you're learning by looking at their hand movements. And this is still so today in large measure. So this new development is opening a whole new world to young people, and to people of all ages actually, who want to be able to play the pan. I have traveled extensively and have been a teacher for many years at Fatima. And I have done clinics in US, Canada, Latin America. And actually 52 states, no, 45 states I've done clinics in. Starting in 1995, I've been to Canada, where I started a PAN program at the University of Manitoba. And what I can say is our panists would have developed even faster if we had had something like this PETE the Panstick, because it really accelerates learning. You can learn in the comfort of your home. I had to go to a Panyard to learn, as most people. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but if you can be in these days where the traffic is so hectic and brutal, you can stay in your home and you can learn to play, and then you can go and play in the Panyard. It makes such a big difference, you teaching yourself. So you're becoming more confident when you go to the Panyard or join a group. It doesn't have to be in the Panyard. You become you have much more self-confidence. And I'm really happy to see the technology being developed in TSTT. I would like to applaud you all. This is a start. As we know, we're going to have all the instruments on stream. And there are many other things too that can be done in the future, but this is the first step. And I'd like to underscore a point made by one of the earlier speakers about the development of the instrument outside of Trinidad. People really take it seriously, sometimes in some cases more seriously than we do. Because you always take things for granted. This is always here, and you have hundreds of steel bands here, so it's no big thing. But I can tell you, I could not, when I went to University of Manitoba in 1989, I could not have envisioned the explosion of pan that we see today. When I go to Japan, it's amazing. I was invited there in 2013 to play some concerts in Tokyo, and one of the concerts featured 100 Japanese pan players. I mean, to me, that was unbelievable, but I'm showing you how it is developing. So we cannot take things for granted anymore. We have to pursue the teaching, the educational aspect, and I'm glad to see that Simeon, you all have the historical development of it, And we have to try to, I want to make this comment, that we have to try that when we are documenting, we have to have accurate information. A lot of the books that are written, the information is so distorted and biased. So we have to start correcting it if we get proper editors, it would go along, because we don't want to give out wrong information. So the technology that we have now, we can easily correct. So I don't want to be too much longer. I just want to salute you all for this wonderful venture here. And I know it's going to be a fruit, because so many young people have started to play the pan. It's going to encourage more. And as I said, I have been to, Maine is one of the states I've been to a festival there. And I saw a band there, but everybody in the band was over 60 years old. So it's not only for the young, you know. And we in the pan, we have to start creating a wider audience. We have a lot of young pan players, but we don't have a young pan audience. So maybe PETE the Panstick program, if we can encourage some mature people to learn to play, it might encourage them to come out and listen to pan music. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I wish you all success with it.